guys, and welcome to the channel. Well, welcome to Poor Man's Garage, should I say, because as you see, I don't even have a freaking garage. Anyhow, I want to make this video because I think this is very helpful for everybody else to have a freaking carburetors like I do. Okay, this bike is 1988. And you're probably thinking, what are you doing with that piece of shit? It's all, get yourself a brand new bike. Well, maybe that will work for you. Me, I like my shit old, just like me. You know, I can fuck with this. I can fuck with a brand new bike. Anyway, let's get back to what I was gonna make the video about. So, the problem with these bikes are, you got full carburetors, and a bike like this is sit around, and you don't ride it as much, and all of a sudden when you're gonna start it, start giving you freaking problems, and you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And yeah, it's gonna literally drive you crazy. And one of the things that I do for a bike like this is 1988. It's an old bike. I don't ride it every day. If I ride it every day, this bike will run perfect. But since I let it sit 2-3 weeks at a time and I don't ride it, it just starts giving you problems. Two, for you not to have any problem with the bike, I recommend you to get some of this stuff right here. This stuff right here is made by Redline. And this right here is for motorcycles, especially when you have carburetors. And this right here will keep you running smoothly. Perfect. That's good. Stabilize the gas, clean the carburetors, and keep it running good. But the problem what happened is this right here. This bike and all Kawasaki's of this year, and even newer models, Kawasaki, they come out with this side of the bike, and if you see, it is this right here. And when you turn, you choke the bike, you start the bike, and you get it warmed up, then you can play with this, and you give it a little, you can adjust your idle, so that way you can, stay in at least 1 RPM, and your bike won't shut off. So what happened was that I went out for a ride, and when I came back, put the bike inside, let it sit, and I went to start the bike 3 weeks later, and the bike keep on shutting off. It was warm, and as soon as I let go of the throttle, the bike was shut off, and I constantly had to start it and start it with a choke again, and it's a nightmare because I kept turning this right here to adjust my idle, and it was not even going up or down. So right away I started thinking, oh my god, here it goes. I'm having problems. Oh Jesus Christ. So I called one mechanic to see, because I don't got time to be monkeying around with this stuff all the time. This is what I do for a living. I fix shit. So I was like, you know what? The guy said to me, I charge 175, 3-hour minimum. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? I said, I don't have time for that shit. So, when you have problems like this, and you got the skills to pay the bills, go ahead and fix your shit yourself. So what happened was, I took the tank and I took everything off, and I don't want to show you how to take the tank and nothing like that, because you probably not gonna have a bike like this. There's not too many bikes like this that you're gonna find. This is a unicorn. When I'm out there riding my bike, a lot of people comes to me, especially people my age, over 50. They come to me and say, oh my god, I used to have that bike when I was a kid. And you know where I'm going. You're not gonna find a bike like this. But every carburetor motorcycle, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, anything that comes in carburetors got this adjustment on your idle. They got some different ones, got different ways. And if you got carburetors, I was saying 89% of the time you're gonna have this stupid ass wire right here that is gonna adjust your RPMs. So what happened was, I was turning that the wrong way, and I turned it and I turned it and I turned it, and what I did was I ended up taking the needle that adjusts the RPM off from right there, and I'm going to show you, and I'm holding a flashlight at the same time, so this is kind of weird, but here we go. we're gonna find a solution to do this. Bear with me. Voila. As you see right there, and I'm turning, you can see that that is turning up and down. So one day what happened was, that day that I was riding, my RPMs was pretty high. So I started lowering it, and what I did, I took that right off. And that's what holds this right here. Okay? This right here for your throttle. It moves all 4 carburetors. So when I went down, I took that off and it came off right there. So when I went to start the bike, and once the bike I choked it and took the choke off, my bike went dead. And the last time I went for a ride, I don't know if you guys seen the video, I constantly had to be hitting the throttle to keep my bike from not shutting off. And that become very frustrating. So I was just like thinking, shit, man, I'm gonna have to take my bike to the shop. And I said, no, let's take this off and let's fix it our fucking self like I always do. So, advice, that right there, if you see that right there, okay, that right there is when you got that throttle needle adjustment. And that right there, if you ever have a problem that your bike keep on shutting off and it doesn't stay in idle, and you turn it this and it doesn't feel like it's turning, it's because you 99% of the time you probably did the same thing I did and you fucked it up. So what I had to do, I had to go ahead and take this wire off and lubricate everything, clean the damn needle idle adjustment, and then put it back on, and it's working correctly. And I realized that that's the problem I had. And that's a simple fix that you can fix yourself. One thing I gotta say for everybody that's gonna start criticizing me, I'm not a freaking mechanic. I'm a guy that's been fixing everything since he was 11 years old. So I don't really consider myself a mechanic. I just consider somebody who knows quite a bit and have a lot of knowledge. Because why? Because I'm poor. And I've been poor. And I know how to fix shit. Because when you're poor, you don't have time or money to pay somebody else. So anyhow. So what I wanted to show you guys is that. So if you ever have problem with something like this, it doesn't matter what kind of Kawasaki you have. I guarantee if you have carburetors, you got one of these freaking things. And that's what is going to control your RPMs. And to keep your bike happy, I'm telling you, use this stuff right here. Add it onto your gas. Read the instruction. I don't want to tell you how to use it because then I want to get criticized like I always do. So me myself, I take when I fill the tank, I take about 4 of these caps and pour that in there, and I always keep the stuff inside, and always my carburetor stays nice and clean. Yeah, for this bike, a new set of carburetors that I was looking at, because again, you're not gonna find parts for bikes like this. When you got an old bike, you're not gonna find parts. This is $500. This 4 carburetor set used. So I gotta keep this thing running good. I recommend this stuff. Take my word for it. If you don't, if you don't. If you do. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I always make videos like this to help anybody who wants to be helped. And again, I appreciate all the support that I get from you guys through the years.
A few moments later.
So I'm bringing an update on the idle cable from an RPM that I had that was giving me problems, and I was able to figure it out, and I made the video about it. So this is going to be an update. I haven't started my bike in about 2.5 weeks, so the bike is going to be a cold start for the first time, and I'm gonna see what I did and took care of the problem. Because every time I pull up to the light, my bike was shutting down. And like I said, I talked to a mechanic right away. This guy wanted like 175 per hour, and he's talking about 3-hour minimum. And he's talking about, oh, you need to get a cleanup, you need this, you need new jets, you need that, you know what I'm saying? This guy was ready to empty my pockets. And this is how I fix my stuff, because I don't got the money to be paying somebody that much money for stupidity, man. Stuff like this you can figure out yourself. So here we go, man. I'm gonna start the bike, and let's see. I'm gonna put it on choke, and I'm gonna let her warm up, and then we should be able to control the RPM, and she should stay on without shutting off. So let's go and see what happens. Comes through. For those that know what the hell they're doing, and for those that don't. Starting, there she goes. That I can control my RPM. All right, and finally I got the damn bike to stay on idle. And you know, this is the, I know it's hard to talk when the bike is on, but the whole purpose of the video is to see if the bike stays on idle. And you can see that that's what it's doing. The bike, of course, you need a new the carbs needs to be clean, that's for sure, but I say so for now. At this moment, I just need to ride this bike. She just needs to see the road. But you can see that I'm able to at least keep her down on idle, and I'm able to erase the RPM, so that's great. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You can see it's nice and steady now. Have a good one, guys.